Hey there everyone, it is 80 here once again with another game of Starcraft 2. This will be a Protoss versus Zerg right here on Shakuras Plateau from the North American Grandmasters League ladder. Spawning first at the top right is the red Protoss. His name is EGiNcontroL. EGiNcontroL is an American pro gamer whose real name is Jeff Robinson. He recently finished 4th at MLG Dallas back in April. He is ranked 109th in the North American Grandmaster League with a record of 384 wins along with 339 losses, which does equate to a 53% win rate for our Protoss. EGiNcontrol's opponent for this game will be the blue Zerg over here. His name is ruxin. Ruxin is ranked number 6 in the Hansen Sigma division of the North American Masters League with 600 wins and 607 losses at the time of casting, which is a 49.7% win rate for our Zerg player. So we'll see how these two players do today, as they are going to be duking it out on Shakuras Plateau. Taking a look at this map real fast, your main base connects right into your natural right down here that has all 8 mineral patches and both geysers, so nothing crazy happening there. And your natural base connects into your third base all the way over here, which when players are spawning both on the top like they are right now, will actually push you towards your opponents. And a little fun fact about this map, I believe in this version of the map for ladders, players can only spawn one on the right and the other one on the left. Say for instance, if ruxin spawns here, EGiNcontroL could not have spawned here. He can only spawn in either this location or in the one that he did indeed spawn in. That's just to keep games from devolving into a straight bum rush across the map in a vertical fashion. I'm not sure why they made it so, but that is how the map is programmed. At any rate, we do see our Zerg player getting a hatchery up at his natural that is just now getting underway. While EGiNcontroL is preparing to do much of the same thing. He has a forge up first just to defend against what might have been a 6 or 8 pool. He wasn't quite sure and he was playing it safe, but now he is, it looks like, going to be setting up a nexus, saving up the resources to do so. He's going to be getting that up shortly. We'll wait and see just when that happens. This hatchery will be about a third of the way done as soon as EGiNcontroL gets that nexus up. Let's watch that happen over here. He has 400 minerals now, and there it goes. The nexus, so sexy, is warping in, just now getting started. So both these players playing pretty macro-oriented at the moment. This Overlord is content to float around, seeing nothing over here. Will tip that Overlord off to the fact that there's probably an expansion happening already, and EGiNcontroL has started the wall off over here with that forge first. Probably going to get a gateway up as soon as he can as well over there. Meanwhile, ruxin is getting his spawning pool that is about 3/4 of the way done. And just as I find it, so too does a probe for EGiNcontroL, going to be taking a couple of pot shots at this spawning pool. But of course, probes don't have the highest DPS in this game. Going to actually be passing by this hatchery as it pops, and there it goes, creep spreading just as drones realize that this is a very inviting home. New property always cheap, so they're going to jump on that opportunity and populate it right away. Meanwhile, EGiNcontrol's nexus is about 3/4 of the way done. He also has his first gateway online at the moment, getting a cannon just to be extra super duper safe, but he has not very much to worry about at the moment as our Zerg player is only getting 2 Zerglings. There they are, they just popped. Those lovely Zerglings going to be running around and having fun, as they're the only units on the map right now that aren't a drone or a queen, so they'll be happy about that. Meanwhile, EGiNcontroL, it looks like, is going to be getting that gateway just now warped in, and there it goes. Probably be going to get a Zealot, possibly maybe going for that Cybercore and a Stalker first. We'll see what he decides to do, as he's actually not pumping anything out of this gateway quite yet. That might mean he wants to go Sentry or Stalker first. Let's wait and see what he does. Yes, indeed, it looks like he's going to be waiting, getting that Cybercore up, and actually saving his resources for units later on in the game, because he has realized the Zealot is not majorly important right now, as there isn't any sort of pressure coming out of ruxin's base over here. His natural is getting nicely saturated. You see he's actually gotten quite a few drones down here, so very nice macro from our Zerg player, vomiting on his hatcheries with those queens right on cue. A wave of 10 drones just now spawning. Let's take a look at just how many harvesters both these players have. Actually, EGiNcontroL is ahead. No, never mind. Just as I look at the harvester tab, we see ruxin pulling ahead by about 3 drones. And that Cybercore just finished warping in for EGiNcontroL, going to start Warp Gate right off the bat, because of course you want that as soon as possible. Also getting ground weapons level 1 started right now at his forge. Weirdly enough, he still has no units on the ground to take advantage of those upgrades. Possibly just doesn't have the resources at the moment to afford those. Probably going to be getting them out very shortly. As we see ruxin getting a macro hatchery, which actually on this map also helps your creep to connect to one another. You don't have to use creep zoomers or even overlord spew. You can just wait for this hatchery to pop, and this creep will actually start to connect to one another. So killing two birds with one stone is our Zerg player, also getting that macro hatchery, so he has access to additional larvae to make more units whenever he wants to. So always good as a Zerg player to not be supply blocked. Actually, that's not supply blocked, it's larva blocked. Whatever, you get my points. As we have EGiNcontroL getting another gateway inside his base and a Twilight Council as well. So he is going to be going for something crazy. Dark Shrine is on the way. There we go. So we're going to see some Dark Templars coming out of EGiNcontroL. He's going to want to be able to hide that. As these Zerglings scout out the front door, they see that nothing really is going on here, as even the gateway right now isn't churning out any units, and that might tip off the Zerg player if he's paying very close attention to the fact that something sneaky this way comes from EGiNcontrol's base, and that sneakiness is indeed two more gateways along with that Dark Shrine. So Dark Templars will be online in, well, a long time, because Dark Shrines do take forever to warp in. But in the meanwhile, he's getting Blink as well. So EGiNcontroL is going pretty upgrade heavy right now. He still doesn't have a single unit, I believe. Let's check that units tab real fast. Nope, EGiNcontroL literally only has probes right now. Everything else, every single other mineral and gas resource has gone to upgrades and tech. And it looks like ruxin's content to just let him tech up. He's not really doing anything in the way of pressure, not attacking with anything at all, and he's now going to be moving an Overseer because he was so worried probably about the fact that nothing is happening in the front door and there really are no units for EGiNcontroL. That Overseer will be able to slide in here and will have noticed the Dark Shrine, so EGiNcontroL won't be too pleased about that. The fact that his Dark Shrine has been discovered by a sneaky little jerk Overseer, but that won't stop him from making a couple of Dark Templars. Where are you, Dark Templars? Gotta try to find these. There's one right here, and there's one or two over here actually, but they were detected for a little bit and did get chomped on for a bit by Zerglings. One's going to just be chilling here at this expansion, while it does look like this is another Dark Templar, so he has quite a few Dark Templars over here, does our Protoss player, actually patrolling that Dark Templar around to kind of just make sure nothing sneaky happens over there in the bottom left. The proxy pylon that he had set up is actually where those Dark Templars came from, where they were warped in from. Meanwhile, upgrades galore for our Zerg player right now. He has Pathogen Glands on the way, which is that Infestor starting energy, and Overlord movement speed as well, so they can move a little bit faster than very, very slow. Also, he has, out of that double Evo chamber, Ground Carapace level 1 and Melee Attacks level 1 on the way as well, so he will be focusing on Zerglings, it seems, at this point in the game. At any rate, we have an actual army now finally existing for EGiNcontroL. This is right around 7 Stalkers and 2 Sentries, with one more Stalker joining the party just for fun. This one Zergling is still here. I'm sure he's getting a little antsy at this point. Over here we have a hatchery starting to go up. There is a Dark Templar here though, and it will get surrounded by Zerglings and then spotted by an Overseer. So that Dark Templar was taken out. This Zergling also taken out as well. Unfortunate to be him, but hey, just a Zergling, not a huge loss. Take a look at that unit's loss out real fast. So nothing too heavy lost by either player right now. 450 for EGiNcontroL and only 225 for ruxin. That will probably be going pretty high up in the near future. Over here we have EGiNcontroL getting his 3rd base. And he's also going to be putting a pylon up and a couple of photon cans, it looks like, just to make sure it's well defended here in the early game. Meanwhile, over at the Zerg player's 3rd base, his hatchery is about halfway to being completed, so that will get up soon. He also has a Spine Crawler and a Spore Crawler, so a lovely team of crawlers just chilling here defending the 3rd base. His army, whoa, Overlord platoon right here, along with an Overseer, a couple of Infestors, that is actually 6 Infestors, couldn't see the ones in the back right there, and then a horde of Zerglings that is 48 plus 7 more, so 55 Zerglings for our Zerg player. There's just one Dark Templar chilling here at the 3rd expansion, or 3rd base rather, making sure that it goes up without a hitch, and there are Zerglings just streaming across the map for our Zerg player. Meanwhile, this Stalker army is going to be moving in. Some Changelings got pooped out by that Overseer. We will actually watch as EGiNcontroL realizes that those are not his zealots, and he attacks them and finishes them off. So not the most effective use of Changelings, but hey, you might as well do it if you can and see if it works. It just didn't happen to work in this case.